Yeah.
A little wider.
Good to go? All right, I'm going to call the meeting as we stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Z, for helping us get all set up and ready to go. We really appreciate it. The first thing on our meeting is 2 new hires, one a social worker and one middle school assistant principal and athletic director. And I'm going to ask Adam Supanowski to come and introduce our candidates.
Good evening. How is everybody doing?
Good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Okay, this is my first time doing this, so hopefully I don't mess it up.
You're doing great so far.
All right, good. Well, I'm here to introduce Alexis Ragnon, and she'll be for the position of social worker for the middle school. So I'm enthusiastically recommending for your approval the employment of Miss Alexis Ragnon for the Williamston Middle School social worker position. When speaking with Alexis's internship supervisor, she provided extremely positive recommendation. During her graduate level school social work internship, Alexis successfully supported students and staff across multiple settings, including Hazlitt High School, Red Cedar Elementary, and GSRP programs throughout Ingham County. Her supervisor highlighted Alexis' ability to build strong relationships with students, families, and colleagues, as well as her skills in conducting special education evaluations, interpreting social emotional assessments, and developing meaningful IEP goals, facilitating interventions to support student success. Alexis was described as a dedicated advocate for children and who was consistently went above and beyond her work. Her calm professional demeanor, strong communication skills, and commitment to meeting the needs of students and families was repeatedly emphasized. Based on this reference, Alexis would be a valuable addition to the school as well as part of the district mental health team. With no reservations, I recommend that the board approve Ms. Alexis Ragnon's hire for school social worker for Williamston Middle School.
Thank you. Any questions for Adam? All right, I will take a motion to hire.
Make a motion that the Williamston Community Schools Board of Education hire Miss Alexis Ragnon as a social worker beginning with the 2026-2027 school year.
Second. Motion by Chris, second by Heather. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Alexis.
Thank you.
Did you want to say this? I'm going to give you the opportunity. If you wanted to say anything, you're more than welcome.
I'll just say thank you for the opportunity. I'm really excited to start at the Williamston School District. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We will be around to give you congratulations in just a moment. Thank you. All right, next is middle school principal and athletic director.
All right, I'm also enthusiastically recommending for your approval the employment of Mrs. Stephanie Shandell for the Williamston Middle School Assistant Principal and Athletic Director position. As reflected in her resume, Ms. Shandell brings 22 years of middle school teaching experience, 18 of which have been at Hazlitt Middle School. Through her tenure, she has served in numerous leadership capacities, including Union AR, department chair, mentor, and guest admin in the absence of building administration. In each of those roles, Ms. Shandell has consistently demonstrated exceptional problem-solving skills, strong collaboration, and effective communication with students, staff, and families. Beyond the classroom, Ms. Shandell has coached a variety of middle school sports, including track, basketball, and volleyball. Through these experiences, she's built many meaningful and long-lasting relationships with those student athletes, and they've extended beyond middle school. During her her dedication to students and their success was consistently reinforced during the reference check process. Ms. Shandel's experience, leadership abilities, and student-centered approach make her an outstanding candidate for the assistant principal position at Williamston Middle School. I strongly recommend her for this role, and I'm confident that she will positively impact students, staff, and the school community. With no reservations, I recommend that the board approve Ms. Stephanie Shandell hire as the assistant principal and athletic director for Williamston Middle School. Any questions?
Okay, hearing no questions, I will take a motion to hire.
I move that the Williamston Community Board of Education hire Mrs. Stephanie Shandell to be the Williamston Middle School Assistant Principal and Athletic Director beginning with the 2026-2027 school year.
Second.
Motion by Heather, second by Nancy. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Congratulations to both of you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I will give you a moment to say something. I apologize.
Thank you very much. Can't wait to get started, and I'm ready.
Congratulations, welcome.
I'm very excited. Thank you. I'm very excited to start. I live on Roadside. It's not too far.
Sounds far.
It does, but everything around my room is all that's nice. Okay.
Awesome. I'm really happy.
Thank you.
Was that?
Not a day for short pants.
All right, exciting, exciting. Now is an opportunity for citizens. If there are any citizens in the audience, you can step to the podium. The first citizen comments are for board topics that are on the agenda, but there is an opportunity at the end of the meeting. If there is nothing that is on the agenda that you would like to speak to, there is an opportunity at the end of the meeting for you to speak. Is there anyone that would like to address the board on agenda items first? Okay, seeing none. We will move to celebrations. Adam.
Good evening, board members. Welcome to our final board meeting of the 25-26 school year. And it feels like winter in here, but it's actually summer. So just a couple celebrations. The last week of school is always a really fun one. A lot of special activities and events for our students throughout the district. In particular, though, I do want to point out, and I don't have photos yet for this evening. We're waiting for our secretaries to get back from the exchange in Germany, but when they're back and we can get some photos from Life Touch, we'll put a story up regarding commencement, which was, I think, from everyone I've spoken to at least, a very successful event. A great group of seniors, and definitely went out on a high note, I believe, with that celebration. We do have one website story, but I will spare you the details because I don't want to steal Mr. Paulson's update from later on. And since I basically stole his update and put it on the website, I'll just, it is on there though if you want to see some pictures and highlights of the spring sports season. Otherwise, we'll get more details on that here in just a minute. Those are celebrations as we pivot into a very busy summer. As you could probably already tell, just driving around the buildings, almost everything is under construction, and it's just going to kind of get more that way over the next few weeks. I'll touch on that a little bit more later on in the meeting agenda. Any questions I can address regarding celebrations?
All right, well, Mr. Paulson, you are up for education update on spring sports.
Hello.
you go.
Get this perfect. All right, thank you. Spring sports, yes, we are. They started, they finished, and it was very quick. It felt like finally, I'm trying to think, towards the last couple games, it felt like actual spring season, and then everything got finished. It was just a wild spring of bad weather and more bad weather, and then days we needed to have good days, or just didn't happen. But it was a very successful spring, and we again continue our successes on and off the fields. Girls soccer, we had a new coach this year, Mezen Ghazi. It's a first year. We had 40 kids out for 2 levels. Oscar Rios is also our boys JV coach, but this is his 3rd full year doing girls JV as well. We had a tie for 3rd in our league division, and we lost in the district finals. Very, very difficult district finals. Goodrich was a very good team. We had to travel all the way to Lake Fenton to play Goodrich. Lost in a tough 2-1 battle to a very, very good team in the state. They were top ranked the entire year. It was a great game, but unfortunately, someone has to lose, and we were on the losing end. But good group coming back, and replacing also. We have to replace a tough group. So it was. We're looking forward to what's to come. Girls tennis. Coach Karen came back for this season, and unfortunately we'll be losing her again. She's going to move on to Colorado, but we enjoyed having her back. Coach Cullen is our JV coach. They got 36 kids out this year. We had 4th place in the league, but really came on at the end. We had a good mix of some older kids, but some younger kids, and we ended up qualifying for states for point totals. We had enough points to make it to state, so the team traveled to state down in Midland. And it was it was a great end to the year, and definitely has some things to build on, and definitely have some good things left for the next person to come in and take over. Boys golf, Coach Chamberlain, and then Coach Kelly did the JV. We had 16 kids, also 2 full teams, 1 varsity, 1 JV. 10th in regionals. Again, we had a very difficult regional up there. Top 3 teams go, and then the next top 3 scores. We did not. I believe they shot shooting the 70s to maybe get into the regionals this year, and we did not. So difficult region, but it was a good season nonetheless. It was a competitive JV or a competitive league this year, and I think we finished in 3rd, but again we were within minimal strokes between the 1st and 3rd place team. So it was a competitive year, good season. Boys track and field, Coach Robinson. We really jumped up in numbers this year for the boys. He's done a great job of getting kids out. They were undefeated in the league, champions again. We had 8 state qualifying events, and in those events we had relay all-state, and then two other individual all-state awards. So it was a great year for the boys, really exciting. They had some opportunities, but again, you got to run well on the day, or your field event well on the day. It just didn't happen, but it was a good year for the boys team. Girls track and field, Coach Rathbun had 31 girls out. They were 3rd in the conference. They got 4 events through for the state meet, and they came away with 2 all-states, 1 in high jump and 1 in pole vault. So a good group of field event kids coming back. We look to build those numbers as well too. But it was also a great year for the girls track and field team. Baseball, Coach Orr, unfortunately, last week is resigning. He lives in Portland, just family decisions, which makes a lot of sense. It was a great 4 years, great run with him. We're happy for everything that he's done, and then what's next for him. We had 3 teams this year, JV and freshmen, Coach McFarland and Coach Moyle. 37 total kids out. We were 28-7. We had another nod to the Diamond Classic. Unfortunately, lost in a close match to Lansing Catholic, but on the flip side of it, we got to play our regional and district without having to worry about who to pitch and what to pitch, and if we're worried about Diamond Classic, and if it rains out or has to start at 11 p.m. So we, as we bowed out early, we still had a lot to fight for. District champs, our 5th in a row, and then our first school regional title. Won the first game on Saturday, and then lost the second game in the quarterfinals. But it was a great season. It's been a great run, and we look to fill that spot with another person that's dedicated, focused on the kids. And again, cupboard isn't bare, and we look forward to that next step with that next person. Softball, Coach McKeever and Coach French had 24 girls out, and about a 500 record. That last loss in the pre-regional or pre-district game. 3rd place in conference. A lot of close games, a lot of splits in conference. Again, we were down in Parma for our district, and we ended up losing on that Wednesday to the host school, and they ended up winning the district. So, great season. Had some young pitchers and had some young stat leaders. So again, Coach McKeever is looking forward to bringing the crew back and having another good run next year. Esports, Coach Gibson and Coach Boggs had the team this year. 17 kids, about roughly where we've been. We had 1 playoff team. Coach Gibson left for another district, so we'll have to be filling that position as well. But esports has been a great thing for us for the past 3-4 years, just getting a lot of involvement in kids that may or may not necessarily, ever take part in a varsity sport. It's been a good group, and the games are growing, the league is growing. It's been a great thing. I'm glad we were a part of it in the early stages. Our co-op sports, Boys and Girls Lacrosse, Hazlitt is our host school. The girls were 18-2, lost in the semifinal. Had a great year, top ranked most of the year. Ran into a great team in the semis. But one of their better seasons to date. I believe they made it the same distance last year, but just the record, just where they were at this year. We had a chance to make a run, just didn't pan out. But it was a great season. We had 3 girls who played on that team, and the boys were 12-7, lost in the quarterfinals. We had 6 boys on that team. Again, not boys were as strong as they have been, but it's that's boys lacrosse is a little bit tougher in our area than most, and we look forward. I think some of those boys are able to come back and play next year. So another great season all around. Just kind of looking at where we've been the last 3 springs, and as you can see, it's either grown or kind of flattened out. Baseball, we had a little anomaly where numbers were up, but we had a large senior class, and so that's just where we dropped. Some of them maybe juniors previously may or may not have gone out, so that's just where the little drop is. But other than that, everything is either gained or kind of stayed the same, which we look to keep those because our numbers are high. We are supporting a wide variety of teams. Any questions? Spring sports or anything athletic related?
So just point out that we're ranked 28th in the state for quality of student-athlete programming, I guess for a better term, by niche.com, and a big part of that is participation rates. So great programs at the high school and the middle school, and obviously our youth sports programs throughout the community have a big part of that. But when you look at our participation numbers, comparative to other high schools throughout the state, for us to be that high is pretty impressive.
Paige, can you explain the co-op and how, even though multiple schools might be involved in that sport, why only the home school is represented on jerseys?
More of a, I guess, a kind of choice. For us for swim, we have one Lansing Christian swimmer. Sometimes it represents more of we're the host school. it is Williamston. We're responsible for everything. It comes to us. Hazlitt, I think they play hockey capital city, and then but that's like 7 schools, and I think that had started. Those co-ops had started. You know, those are newer than they are older. For some of these older co-ops, like our swim, it just recently kind of changed. And like, hey, if you're the whole school, you're kind of being the one representative. The state also has to call it one school instead of the Williamston Hazlitt
Got it. Okay.
co-op or
That makes sense.
you know, hockey it's DeWitt, and I just think people kind of
I
clamor
understand.
onto that. And it's usually the whole school is why they're the whole school. They typically have more of the representation of that of the kids in the school students.
That makes sense. Thank you. Any other questions about spring sports? Looks like boys track had quite a jump this year.
Yes, I mean it was massive. I mean they started with 90 and finished with 88.
That's
And we'll
great.
see. We had a big senior class that did a lot of stuff, and that was some of it. So we'll see if we can keep. I know we have a big class coming in, so that's the goal. Keep kids coming out and doing things, and keep that quality and consistency rolling.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you all.
Have a good rest of
Have a
your-
great evening.
Yeah, you too.
You too.
All right, superintendent's report, Adam.
Upcoming meetings, we have a special meeting in July, it's on the 27th. That meeting should be in the central office conference room. Obviously, we'll send out reminders because flooring status in the middle school is uncertain for that period of time, but we got about a month before we have to worry about that. And August 10th will be our first meeting of the new school year. I'm sure it'll be here before we know it. Bond updates, we have another planning update meeting tomorrow morning, so some of this might be a little bit old, but as far as updates that I can give you, high school paving project is underway. If you've driven past there, you can see partial barricades are up. They've been focusing on the sidewalks out in front of the building. A good portion of those have been poured. Not quite finished yet, but they're making good progress on the sidewalk part of that overall project. Middle school and high school flooring started today, so that has just kind of gotten going, but obviously a lot of work that will take place over the next couple months. Explore, they're working on moving a gas line and our cabling for our internet, which was in the way of the construction project, so that's kind of getting redirected. The next big milestone is this end of this week, the footings and foundations for the new school should start to be installed. The main focal point of that project, at least in the short term, will be the construction of the gym, because part of that needs to be in place and ready to go for school to begin in August, not because the students will be utilizing the gym, but because it's in like I think they call it the fall zone of the existing Explorer, so that needs to be at least partially solidified before students can return to class. And then the crane lift for the HVAC was about a week ago exactly. So that was pretty cool to see the condenser up above the building, which is obviously huge. It's probably about a third the size of this room, so a pretty big object. And that has been put in place, and now they're going to work on installing it for about the next 4 weeks.
So they took the old one and then does the company who did this take that away somewhere?
Yeah, they spent about almost a month like breaking it apart, taking the pieces out that needed to be taken out, and then the actual the casing for the old one that got lifted out and put onto a truck. I got some photos somewhere. I'll probably put it on the next bond updates. You can kind of see what the old one looked like and what the new one looked like. Very large. All right, so I think that's good for bond updates. Obviously, with the meeting tomorrow, the planning meeting in the morning, hopefully we'll get a new wave of updates and hope to see continued progress on that. Matt's law summary is required by law every year. Provide an update to the board on the components of that law that need to be reported out publicly. You can see that memo and the summary documents are in your packet. I did a quick look at suspension data just to give you some comparative analysis. So this year we had 64 suspensions and 1 expulsion across the district. Last year we had 128, so I think as board members you probably heard some rumblings. Last year was a little bit of a difficult year from a student behavior standpoint across the board. So this year I think we've gotten back down to normal. If you look at 23-24, we had 81 suspensions, 22-23, 61 suspensions. And I forgot to write it down, but I even looked like pre-COVID in 19, I think we were around like 64, low 60s with suspensions. So we're about back to normal. Last year looked like it was an anomaly, just with some of the things that were going on throughout the district, but we're back to where we're normally at this point.
Can I ask a question about the Metzva? So under the student bullying, are these student reported incidents or parent reported or teacher reported, or is it just a whole combination of everybody or everything reporting?
So they can be reported by anybody.
Okay.
The big requirement with those is that it's investigated and there's some type of definitive outcome that comes from that investigation. So that's where the emphasis on the law is. So I would say all discipline issues are reported from a variety of sources. It's the outcome of the investigation that kind of determines
That's
what it actually was.
Okay.
And in this case, talked extensively with the elementary principals in particular to ensure that their statistics were accurate. So it's not like they did have acts of dysregulated students and physical issues that came from those, but none that were determined to be bullying. Just a lot, again, you have dysregulation, students that are upset about particular items and act out in a certain way because of that, focusing on supporting those students and learning from those, giving them strategies to use in the future, but it doesn't necessarily, even when there's some physical interactions, that the intent was to bully. Juxtapose that with the secondary, students in some cases have a little bit more control over what they're doing, sometimes a deliberative act or a repeated act against a targeted student or group of students, and so I think that's why you see a little bit of an imbalance there in terms of the data. All right, and then moving on to summer projects. This is not an all-inclusive list because it's continuing to evolve. So for example, I think just last week we authorized a $10,000 repair to the track due to some areas of, I don't call it damage, but just items that needed to be repaired at the track after the season. So we'll continue to add to this, and we usually try to give the board a nice roll-up in August, or Brandon Weingertz will come in and present the board with kind of what we actually did. But you can see, for the most part, some of the big non-bond funded summer projects that we're looking at. Even going into summer of '27, this is not an all-inclusive list. One of the main items I'd really like to see get accomplished next year is focusing on the gyms at the high school with repairing the bleachers and removing the broken bleachers at the Ox Gym and repainting that facility. But there's some other things as well. Like we're looking at automating the gate at the transportation office. That's probably going to take us another year to kind of figure that out because there's some things we didn't expect with having to run power out there and how that would work with the gate there. So not all inclusive, but kind of give you an idea of some of the areas that we know we're going to focus on for this summer and potentially the following one. That's the update for this evening. Are there any questions on any of this that I can address?
Any questions? I kind of smiled when I walked in because I go, oh, it smells like summer in here because it smells clean. And you can tell that things have really been getting deep cleaned, that maybe, I mean, they're cleaned throughout the year, don't get us wrong, but throughout the summer, those things are, it smells very clean in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of hard work going on. They've really been involved already. I mean, even today, just stuff you might not see and won't show up in a slide, but like they were taking the extra mulch from the softball project and brought all that over to the Young Fives garden at the elementary, and we're using it to landscape over there. You might also have noticed the construction fencing's down for softball and the grass is coming in, so it looks like it's not under construction anymore for the first time in a year and a half. So it's some nice progress there, but yeah, a lot of work over the next 2 months. Yeah.
The neighbors are wondering when the black skirt
The silt
is
fence?
gonna come down.
No, I had the same question. That's on my list of things to ask
Oh, okay.
for tomorrow. I think part of it probably has to do with the permit and when we're allowed to take it down, but, yeah, that's on my list of things to ask.
Yeah, once those buses depart with the last set of students, things really get moving around here. So, please be sure to let Brandon and his crew know that their work definitely is not going unnoticed. We do not have any board committee reports. The only discussion item that we have is the agreement with Meridian Township for the summer tax collection. Is there any questions about that? I know Sarah's on the meeting, so if you have any questions, you can certainly address them to Sarah if you have any.
Is there anything she wants to say about it?
Does she have? Sarah,
Sarah,
do
is
you
there
have-
anything that you want to say on this?
Sorry, no, I don't have anything to add. This is really just an agreement that Meridian started a few years ago, and it's confirming that we're going to follow the same process we've always followed. So they just want that in writing.
Perfect, thank you. Any questions? All right, we will move this for action at our special meeting in, nope, I'm sorry. It's tonight. It's on for tonight. Thank you. It's a tax issue, so normally with discussion items, we need 2 meetings, but because it's a tax issue, we can get it done in 1 meeting. So if you have any questions, there will be another opportunity to ask those. We have come to action items. Can I get a motion for approval of the minutes from the June 1st regular scheduled meeting?
I move that the Williamston Community Schools Board of Education approve the minutes of the regular meeting on June 1st, 2026 as presented.
Second.
Motion by Deb, second by Heather. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We have several roll call items. Can I get a motion to approve the 2025-2026 general fund resolution?
Is that this one? Is that this one?
Yes, it is that one. It is that one.
Okay. Be it resolved that the general fund appropriation for the Williamston Community Schools District for the fiscal year 2025-2026, which includes 18 mil of ad valorem property taxes, will be levied on non-homestead and non-qualified agricultural property and 0 mills on homestead and qualified agricultural property to be used for operating purposes be adopted as follows. Revenues, local, $3,377,672. State, $22,419,777. Federal, $133,979. Incoming transfers and other transactions, $1,610,894. Total revenues, $27,542,323. Unappropriated fund balance, $6,976,789. Total available to appropriate, $34,519,112. Be it therefore resolved that that $27,960,375 of the total available to appropriate in the general fund is hereby appropriated in the amounts and for the purposes set forth below. Expenditures, instruction, basic programs, $12,436,257. Added needs, $3,325,630. Adult and continuing education, 0. Total instruction, $15,761,887. Support services, pupil services, $1,982,507. Instructional staff services, $1,558,298. General administration, $546,773. School administration, $1,733,554. Business services, $6,155,356. Total support services, $11,976,488. Long-term debt, $22,000. Total other financing uses, $22,000. Total expenditures, $27,760,375. Operating transfer out, $200,000. Total appropriated, $27,960,375. This resolution shall take immediate effect.
Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Deb. Any discussion? Sarah, any clarifying statements?
What was that, Sarah?
Do you have any clarifying statement?
No. Nope.
Thank you. All right, Deb, please take us through roll call.
Chris?
Yes.
Deborah, yes. Heather?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the 2026-2027 general fund resolution?
Be it resolved that the general fund appropriation for the Williamston Community Schools District for the fiscal year 2026-2027, which includes 18 mil of ad valorem property taxes to be levied on non-homestead and non-qualified agricultural property, and 0 mils on homestead and qualified agricultural property to be used for operating purposes, be adopted as follows. Revenues, local, $3,484,922. State, $21,758,419. Federal, $133,979. Incoming transfers and other transactions, $2,590,894. Total revenues, $27,968,215. Unappropriated fund balance, $6,224,139. Total available to appropriate, $34,192,354. Be it further resolved that $28,820,863 of the total available to appropriate in the general fund is hereby appropriated in the amounts and for the purposes set forth below. Expenditures, instruction, basic programs, $13,021,567. Added needs, $3,589,564. Adult and continuing education, 0. Total instruction, $16,611,131. Support services, pupil services, $2,156,565. Instructional staff services, $1,305,776. General administration, $551,578. School administration, $1,875,018. Business services, $6,298,795. Total support services, $12,187,732. Other financing uses, long-term debt, $22,000. Total other financing uses, $22,000. Total expenditures, $28,820,863. Total appropriated, $28,820,863. This resolution shall take immediate effect.
Motion by Chris, second by Heather. Any discussion? Sarah, do you have anything to add?
Nothing to add. Great job, Chris.
Thank you. All right, please take us through roll call, Deb.
Chris?
Yes.
Deborah, yes. Heather?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
And Sarah?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the 2026-2027 special revenue fund resolution?
Be it resolved that the Special Revenue Fund appropriation for the Williamston Community Schools District for the fiscal year 2026-27 be adopted as follows. Revenues, local, $275,000. Total revenues, $275,000. Operating transfer in from general fund, 0. Total appropriation, $275,000. Be it further resolved that $275,000 of the total available to appropriate in the Special Revenue Fund is hereby appropriated in the amounts and for the purposes set forth below. Expenditures, special revenue, $275,000. Total appropriated, $275,000. This resolution shall take immediate effect.
Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Heather. Any discussion? Anything to add, Sarah?
No.
All right, please take us through roll call, Deb.
Chris?
Yes.
Deborah, yes. Heather?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Can I get a motion to approve the 2026-2027 food service fund resolution?
Be it resolved that the Food Service Fund appropriation for the Williamston Community Schools District for the fiscal year 2026-2027 be adopted as follows. Revenues, local, $91,000, state, $565,000, federal, $270,000, total revenues, $926,000. Operating transfer in from general fund, 0. Total appropriation, $926,000. Be it further resolved that $1,271,556 of the total available to appropriate in the Food Services Fund is hereby appropriated in the amounts and for the purposes set forth below. Expenditures, food services, $1,271,556. Total appropriated, $1,271,556. This resolution shall take immediate effect.
Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Deb. Any discussion?
One question. In the one before, it equaled 275 and 275 at the top and the bottom.
Yes.
This one,
I was going to ask that.
yes, says 926 appropriated, but the expenditures are more than the 926. Is this accurate?
Sarah?
I'm pulling it up now to see what I've done.
Okay.
Can you repeat your question on it again?
On the top of the Food Services Fund, it says that the total appropriation is 926,000.
Yes.
But below, the expenditures is more than we're appropriating.
Yes.
that's
So the
act-
top section is all revenues.
Okay, so we're okay.
The bottom section is all expenditures. So we're
Okay.
gonna hopefully be drawing down that fund balance is
Okay.
what this is
Okay,
showing.
great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
The same.
Sorry, thank you.
Yep, just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
The same is also
For the next one, yep.
Any other questions? All right, Deb, please take us through roll call.
Chris?
Yes.
Deborah, yes. Heather?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Can I get a motion to approve the 2026-2027 Community Services Fund resolution?
Be it resolved that the Community Services Fund appropriation for the Williamston Community Schools District for the fiscal year 2026-27 be adopted as follows. Revenues, local, $614,800, state, 0, federal, 0, total revenues, $614,800. Operating transfer in from general fund, 0, total appropriation, $614,800. Be it further resolved that $724,783 of the total available to appropriate in the Community Services Fund is hereby appropriated in the amounts and for the purposes set forth below. Expenditures, community services, $724,783. Total appropriated, $724,783. This resolution shall take immediate effect.
Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Heather. Any discussion? Sarah, did you have anything to add?
Just that this one is very similar to the food service where expenditures are going to exceed the revenues. You guys are aware of all those projects we have going on, so we'll be drawing down that fund balance just a little bit.
Okay, thank you. Can you please take us through roll call, Deb?
Chris?
Yes?
Deborah, yes. Heather?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
Sarah, yes.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Can I get a motion to approve the Meridian Township agreement for summer tax collections?
Whereas the Williamston Community Schools wants the Charter Township of Meridian to collect 2026 taxes, half in summer and half in winter in subsequent years on behalf of the school system, and whereas the Charter Township of Meridian is willing to collect the taxes for the school district as requested by resolution, half in the summer and half in the winter, therefore be it resolved that the Charter Township of Meridian will collect the 2026 taxes half in the summer and half in the winter and subsequent years as requested. Be it further resolved that the school waives any right to interest earned on the 2026 collection, provided the township will pay by the first and third Friday of each month during the tax collecting season. If those dates fall on a holiday, the next business day will be the due date.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Heather. Any discussion? Sarah, do you have anything?
No, nothing to add.
Okay, please take us through roll call then.
Chris?
Yes.
Deborah, yes. Heather?
Yes.
Nancy? Yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Before we go into separate action items, I, of course, want to thank Sarah for all the hard work in getting this together and being so kind with our sometimes, when we don't know something, she's very well-spoken and can articulate so that we understand all of this. It makes things go so, like tonight, it makes things go so much more smoothly. So thank you for all your hard work, Sarah. We really, really appreciate it. And thanks to Chris for reading out all those motions.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. You guys are so sweet. Thanks.
We do have separate action item. Can I get a motion to approve the Kids Corner and Little Hornets Family Handbook?
Make a motion that the Williamston Community Schools Board of Education approve the 2026-2027 Kids Corner and Little Hornets Family Handbook as presented.
Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Heather. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you all so much. Please review your board goals. We did have some correspondence. One of those, I want to take the opportunity to publicly recognize Chris, or Dr. Christopher Lewis, for completing the MASB Finance Specialty Award. How many classes did this take for you to get?
Trying to think. I think it was 5.
And
I
you
think
do
it was
that all
5.
on your own.
Yep.
These are things that board members seek out, and so we just wanted to present you with this Finance Specialty Award with MASB. So
Thank you.
Good job, Chris.
I think that you might be the board member with, like, in all history of Williamston board members that have completed the most classes. I mean, I haven't officially looked that up, but I know that you've completed a lot, and like I said, these are things that you do on your own time. And so congratulations for that.
Thank you.
That's really impressive.
They're very good classes. If you haven't had a
Yeah.
chance to take any, I mean, they will definitely help you in many different ways in your role as a board member.
Yep, absolutely. I agree. Okay, this is the second opportunity for any citizens in the audience that would like to address the board. You can come up. Are you just here for Boy Scouts to see a meeting? Okay. Well, thank you for being here. We really appreciate you listening in. Is there any board member reports or requests? Okay. I just wanted to say graduation went very, very well. I've heard from several community members, and we did get, somebody did reach out to us to say that they were very impressed, not only with the alumni speaker, but our students. I thought did a phenomenal job. It's not easy getting up there and speaking in front of a whole big audience like that, so I always think, wow, for anyone who gets up to do that, it's really special. So kudos to everyone involved with that. It was a wonderful event. Anything else? Just a reminder that our next board meeting, it is a special board meeting, and it is July 27th, and it will be in central office. Adam will give us reminders beforehand, but that's where we will meet. And with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Heather, second by Deb. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Sarah.
See you in
Thank you.